Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Pets of the Mind. This is the Pets of the Mind Yearly Awards, formerly the X-Pound Yearly Awards. This is video number 2. Today's awards will be covering television shows. Check out our last episode from 2 weeks ago where we gave our awards for films from 2015. Joining me to give out these TV awards, we have over there, you might remember him from last time, the movie guy, Marcus Shadow.
Hi, everybody.
And coming up on the next video, the game guy, Chris the Mall.
Yo.
All right. So these awards are going to be basically category-wise the same awards we gave for movies. We're also going to give them for TV this week. And this will only include television shows during 2015. Nothing before or after, obviously.
That we saw.
That we each individually saw, of course. So we're going to kick this right off. I suppose I should throw it to one of you. That way I can end it and take us right out at the end. So
That's cool.
Sure.
let's go ahead and I don't know who wants to go. Marcus, why don't you go first? Let's go with the first award, which is the best action moment of the year.
Sure. As you can see down in Chris the Mole's little thing there, he's got an actual best action moment of the year image, so cool.
Indeed, I'll put it up for a second. Okay, I'll switch over to you.
Okay, so my best action moment of the year comes to us from the latest season of Power Rangers Dino Charge. It comes from the episode Breaking Black. Because I'm sorry, when Chase broke free of the thing, turned around, was just like, I can't remember what he said, but he was just like, control this, doom, and just shoots him in the face with the gun. I'm like, yeah, that was kind of awesome.
That was pretty cool. That was cool. I'll give you that.
Action. And I know a lot of people had issue with him with the whole, skateboarding thing, but I kind of liked it, and I thought that made for a pretty, cool, flashy action moment. Of just he spins around on the board and it's like click, click, blam. So that's my action moment from TV 2015.
I'm kind of surprised. Whenever I'm in a store that has it, I always take a peek, and I have not yet seen an official Dino Charge Chase skateboard for sale yet.
You would think they'd have one.
But anyway, let's go over to Chris the Mole for the best action moment.
Okay. I have a tie between 2
Okay.
from the same show.
Alrighty.
Hopefully this will load. There we go. This, of course, is Kara Saves a Plane from Supergirl. The pilot episode. She literally flies through the air and saves a plane being blown up or on fire type thing. That's awesome. That looks almost as good, or as good as when they did the same one on Superman Returns when he saves the plane. Only she doesn't casually throw the wing away, thus killing all the people below. If you think about it. But it's a case of, see, look, as you can see there, it looked, like I said, that just looks really awesome. And like I said, it's her becoming Supergirl for the first time in the pilot. That's why you don't see a cape on her and stuff, because she's just discovering, okay, maybe I should use my powers to help people. So as well as being an action piece, it's also crucial to the character, which that always makes action pieces better. Because if you care about the characters, you care about the action.
True. Hey, Jim, is it me, or does Mole look really blurry?
Yeah, Mole, your camera overall is rather blurred. I was going to mention that.
Fair enough. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either. Just figured to mention it.
The second one.
I don't know if it's because you're running through Minicam or what, but...
He's usually not blurry. That's why I mentioned it.
Okay. The second one is Supergirl vs. General Astra.
Ah, nice.
Because, I'm sorry, you can probably see it there. She's flying through the air. And like I said, I don't know why my camera is blurry before anyone mentions that. But to be fair, you guys are normally blurry on this. But when we actually go to watch the final, when we go to see the final thing, sometimes it's not. So I don't know. But it doesn't matter. You can see the effect. Okay. I don't know why you said that as I was talking, but yeah, as she's flying through the air, as you can see that they're literally fighting through the streets. Yeah, that's the one I mentioned. Some people said it looked a little cheesy because it looks like bad green screen, but on parts of it when they're in the air. But I don't care. And now I will admit that does bother me, as you saw there, the blue heat vision. But
I was about to mention that. I was like, wait, she's got blue heat vision?
yep, it's to make it look different. But
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
She's Kryptonian.
yeah, but it's to make it
Yeah.
look different because works.
Which is fair enough, except it's going to be even weirder. We're going to have to see how they address that in 2 episodes when they bring in the Bizarro Supergirl. It's going to be a whole nother problem.
Probably, but yeah, like I said, the Supergirl v Jenna Astra, who was Ant, and as we see there, boom, she stops her and just goes
Yeah.
fucking ballistic, punching the
Yeah.
shit out of her. Which
Yeah.
that was a great fight, and Supergirl's been a great series this year, so
Indeed.
that was my one.
Indeed. Although it does not take away from the actionist in that moment, it should be noted that Astra let her because she wanted to get kidnapped, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, but like I said, it's for the action award, so.
Yeah.
Although, did she let her?
Hmm.
Because as they said as well, she also went more ballistic than what was expected, because she just went mental.
True, but even Kara's sister noted that Astra intentionally took an incredibly, the weakest stance she possibly could have taken and left herself massively vulnerable.
She did, but that doesn't take away from the anger, because they even mentioned she looked surprised at the anger of what Kara was expressing, and she just lost it.
That
Like
is
when
true.
she heat visioned through the hologram of her mother with, "Ah!" and was just losing it, which that's cool.
I'm not programmed to respond to that.
Yeah. I'm not programmed to give you hugs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh. Tear.
Supergirl's a great show. More on that later, but yeah.
Indeed. And if you haven't seen it, go back and check out our review of the first half of season 1, by the way.
Well, first 8 episodes.
First 8 episodes. Well, that's where they happened to cut it off the mid-season. I didn't choose it. Freaking CBS did. Anyway, back to me.
Yes.
My action moment of the year, I actually have a tie also. I mostly got 2 because I wasn't 100% on whether we were counting Netflix shows, so I had a backup in case, but I'm going to give it to him a tie because they were both pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
We are.
So, one of them, I'll segue in since you brought it up, one of them is also from Supergirl. And it's the scene from the most recent episode, well, not most recent, but the last episode before the break, when the Non and his assorted aliens broke into, they were breaking into, who's the what's he's building there, my mind is gone blank. You know the guy I'm talking about. The loser of this show. What the hell's his name?
No, I know what you're on about, yeah. But continue.
Yeah, that guy. Anyway, freaking Non and his aliens break in there, and then Hank Henshaw and the DEO show up, and they have a big ass fight, and it's pretty badass. And particularly, there's that moment where there's one dude is fighting Hank Henshaw, and as they're going back and forth fighting, he pauses and he's like, "You don't fight like a human," and he goes and picks him up. It's like, and the eyes go right. He's like, "That's because I'm not." Breaks his thing. That was badass. But that's number one. And the other tie for this one, I gave it to Daredevil beating the shit out of Kingpin in an alley in the finale of Daredevil season 1, because that was fucking awesome and intense and amazing. He's like, bah, 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 bah. Kingpin's like, no, bah, bah. And then he's like, beat that. And it's like, they don't even have powers. It's like, yeah, Daredevil's slipping around a little bit, but it's just 2 dudes just beating the shit out of each other in an alley, and it was awesome.
It was pretty awesome.
I
I like Daredevil. I will admit, there was 2 things with the Daredevil show, which I'll just throw out here, which I've mentioned in the past I would have changed.
Mm-hmm.
His red costume, I actually preferred the movie one, and I preferred movie Kingpin.
Okay.
However, that's not to say I hated this version of Kingpin either. I just really thought Michael Clark Duncan did a great job.
He did do a great
He
job.
did.
That was the one good thing about that movie.
And the suit looked cool.
The suit looked good.
It did.
I
It
thought-
was badass.
There is more going in that film than what people gave it credit for.
I thought Ben Affleck did a great job. I own that movie. I really like Ben Affleck as Daredevil, and I thought he really looked like Matt Murdock. When he first stepped in with like the glasses and the suit, I'm like, holy fuck, he looks like Matt Murdock.
Yep, it's just a case of it's a comic movie, and it disappointed people, so therefore
Yeah.
it must be the worst thing ever. But that's not. It's not like Amazing Spider-Man 2 shit.
Yeah, no, it's not the worst thing ever. It's spin-off Elektra, on the other hand.
Mm, even that's not that bad, considering if you compare it to Amazing Spider-Man 2, Catwoman, Batman and Robin, the new Fantastic Four, apparently.
Yeah, fair enough. That's true.
Yep. Fair enough. But yeah, that was my tie. The DEO versus non-forces fight and Daredevil versus Kingpin. There we go. Let's go back over to Marcus for our second award, the best comedy moment of the year.
Yes, the best comedy moment of the year. Let's see. No, that's not popping up. It is. Okay. Okay, so my best comedy moment of the year. You're gonna facepalm at this, Jim.
I may.
I gave it to the Saturday Night Live 40th anniversary celebration
I didn't think of SNL, but that's good. That's good.
because that was fucking awesome. 3 hours long. I mean, the whole thing, like, there were some things that weren't that funny, but on the whole, it was pretty damned funny. And just all the cameos and stuff that came back was kind of awesome.
Nice.
Fair enough. Nice choice. Nice choice. I did not think of that.
And you can check that stuff out now. It is on, I believe, it's on NBC's site under the SNL stuff. They have each of the bits, in video form, so you can go through and see the whole thing for free. NBC. Woo!
Nice. I approve. All right, let's go over to Chris the Mole for your comedy moment of the year.
Mine, a little weird choice, but I had to give it to. Wait for it to load. It should have loaded by now. I think Manycam's messing up. There you go. Skip forward. Where's it? There, as you can see, it's Oliver Queen from the first episode of Arrow season 4. When Felicity comes back to Felicity, who gives him a bit of an omelette to try, and he tells her, "You have failed this omelette." Because why the fuck not? See, look, you'll see him there when he just tells her casually, "You have failed this omelette," and her face, and then you'll just see it go straight into the bin in a sec. That was just a great bit of comedy. I don't know why. It was funny. It was a throwback to his catchphrase. It was good.
That sounds pretty funny. I like that. That's good. That's good. For the record, unfortunately, I was unable to come up with a comedy moment of the year. I racked my brain, and I just could not come up with, because most of the shows I watched were really actiony and dramatic, and I couldn't think of a whole lot of comedy. Just all, this. If I went back and watched or skimmed through episodes, I might be able to find something, but as I thought back, I couldn't come up with anything, so I don't have a comedy moment. I'm sorry, folks. I have failed this video. But on that note, we'll just spin it right around and we'll go back over to Marcus for the third award, and that is the best emotional scene of the year.
It is?
That's what my paper says.
Ha! Okay, I went good. That means I have time to get that. Apparently that image did not happen. Okay, so best emotional scene. Well, best emotional scene, we're going back to SNL for this one. And is that one there? And that is Tracy Morgan returns to host to SNL after his near-fatal car crash.
Nice.
Because I don't think anyone really thought he would, or at least did not think he would do it so soon. And I love what he did, because he comes walking out, right, and hobbling on, he's got his cane and whatnot. And showing that Tracy Morgan, A, still has a good sense of humor, and B, is still a pretty good actor. He comes out, and he acts like he's more damaged than he actually is. And he goes, "No, I'm just playing witch. I'm fine." He's like, that's fucking awesome. And you can tell he has lost a step, obviously, because of the injuries, but his wit is still quick as ever, and he's made huge strides in his recovery. He's pretty much back, and it was just awesome to see. He comes back. He reprised a lot of his characters and whatnot. And
did he do Brian Fellows?
He did them all, man. He did Brian Fellows. He did what is it, the Spaceman? And yeah, he did all his classic characters pretty much. It was kind of awesome.
Well, he doesn't have that many classic characters, let's be honest. Yes, those two and Al Sharpton, and that's about it.
Yeah, I don't think he did Al Sharpton, but But yeah, so and that was pretty emotional. And they had did you see that episode, Jim?
I did not. I don't regularly watch SNL that much anymore.
They brought in, and this is kind of what made it emotional. They brought in the cast of 30 Rock to do a skit.
Nice.
Literally, it was basically a 30 Rock reunion. They had Tina Fey, they had Alec Baldwin, and they had I keep forgetting the guy's name, the guy that played the intern.
Kenneth DePage?
Yeah, Kenneth DePage. They had him come back, and I think they had one other person come back, and they
Rachel
did a
Dratch?
skit. No, Rachel did not come back.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was another woman though. But anyway, but they came back.
What's it? Jake Rakowski? Isn't she on that show?
Maybe. But I know those three were there and they did a sketch and stuff, and it was kind of emotional because it was it was a reunion of 30 Rock because since the show went off the air, and B, I think it was the first time they as a group had reunited with Tracy Morgan since the car crash.
Probably.
So yeah, it was a pretty emotionally charged show, and it was a really good show actually.
Nice, and 30 Rock's always awesome.
Indeed.
Yeah. So back to Jim.
Thank you. Yeah, that's nice to see. I remember he the first time he appeared on TV again, it was at one of the award shows. He gave an award. I don't remember what show it was, probably the Emmys or something. I remember he showed up at an award show and he he came out and he thanked everyone. He gave a nice speech and I was like, I'm back, which means a lot of y'all girls getting knocked up at the after party. All right. Yes, Tracy Morgan. You get an applause, sir. Very nice. Let's go over to Mole for your emotional moment of the year.
Fair enough. Let's see if it loads. Because mine comes from season, I think it's 7 that we're on at the Vampire Diaries.
Okay.
This isn't the exact scene because I couldn't find the exact scene, but this is the two characters of Nora and Mary, who are the lesbian couple from going back from Civil War. They come into our time and they suddenly find out, wait, in our time we can actually be together. And there's a big drawn out moment where they finally manage to hold hands for the first time in public and realize that homosexual couples are actually accepted in today's society. And instead of it always being a big thing, oh look, they're lesbians, no one addresses it. They just let them be. They're just a normal couple on the show, and it's a huge emotional thing because you actually get to see how far those people have come, and you get to, and stuff like that. And they handled it really well, which you don't normally get. Normally, it feels like a publicity stunt or something a lot of times, and it didn't on this. And they just did it really well. And yeah, they end up breaking up later on the show, but when they were together, it's just great being able to see two characters like that who are meant to be a same-sex couple just treated the same as a regular couple. And like I said, and the Civil War thing of back then, if they were considered homosexual, it was frowned upon, but nowadays no one's looking twice and they can hold hands in the street, they can kiss and stuff. It was just cool.
Okay.
Sounds awesome.
Indeed. I approve.
So over to Jim.
Indeed. All right.
I suppose that also shows how far we've come as a society and how far, TV and stuff has come. That they did something like that and didn't make a big deal about it. It's kind of
Yeah, basically a few of the CW shows are same-sex couples. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Like I think it's Flash has a same-sex couple as well.
Nice.
Okay then.
I approve. Okay. So, over to me for my best emotional scene. I don't have video or photos. I'm sorry, I'm not as hip and up to date as these two youngsters over here. But my scene comes from Person of Interest. Specifically from the penultimate episode of season 4, entitled Asylum, episode 21.
Ooh.
Hmm?
I just said ooh because it's like you said penultimate, and so I'm like ooh. They're normally good. They normally do something big in those episodes.
And yeah, you know what penultimate means, right?
Yeah. But like I said, they normally do something big in those episodes.
Yeah. Because there was another one for the finale I was tempted to use too, but I'm like, they're both pretty good. But I really like this one in particular. It jumped into my mind when I was thinking of this award.
Those ones, there's the final and there's the mid-season final.
Yeah.
Now it tends to be the 3 that they do big things on. They can still do big things in other episodes, but it's not normally as much.
Sorry about that, folks. Live, everybody. Anyway. So, my scene is from episode 21, season 4, of Person of Interest, entitled Asylum. Just brief amount of backstory. The team, consisting, of course, of Finch, Reese, Root, and Fusco at the current point.
Did you say Groot?
I didn't say Groot, I said Root. Not as good as Groot, but still good. But anyway, so effectively the team has been on the run from the evil artificial intelligence known as Samaritan, who has been basically hunting them down and chasing them, and it's been harder and harder for them to work with the machine to do their job. And it gets to the point in episode 21 where the Samaritan has basically realized that it's got to take the machine out, or this whole nonsense is never going to end. So it proceeds to, it's trying to find the machine, but the machine has, basically the AI itself has started moving on its own, separate from the computer banks that once housed it. Basically, it's at the point where the program is able to, it doesn't need the big computer banks anymore. It's moving around on its own. And Samaritan tried to chase it through the grids and everything else and couldn't catch it. And inevitably it got to the point where the machine was attempting to guide the team to locate their lost teammate, Sabine Shaw, played by Sarah Shahi, who was written out because she got pregnant. And she'll be coming back, hopefully, in the last season that is filmed that has not yet aired, but will hopefully be airing soon. But at any rate, they thought they had a lead on finding Sabine, who they had been kidnapped by Samaritan's people. And they were led to what was a hospital, or a literal asylum, or at least the asylum floor of the hospital, where actually Mr. Greer, the guy who basically is the top Samaritan operative and is kind of the human incarnation of the bad guy, is there with this Samaritan unit itself. Basically, that was their hideout at the moment. And the team ends up getting captured in the hospital room, and Root, who, as you might know, is played by Amy Acker, whom I know is also on one of most favorite shows. And she gets basically, they capture her and they strap her to a hospital table, and they grab Reese and Finch, and I can't remember if Fusco's with them or not, but effectively they all get grabbed. And specifically Finch is being grabbed and held at gunpoint, and Root is being strapped to this table where they're going to do horrible things to her, supposedly. And there's this big screen at the front where Samaritan, the screen that represents Samaritan, is like a white screen with a red line that represents the speech of the machine or whatever. But Samaritan's at the front, and Samaritan basically issues demands that says, look, machine, I know you're listening to me. You're out there. Let's end this. Here's how this is going to work. Either you're going to tell me where you are so I can find you and shut you down, or I'm going to start killing your human operatives one by one in horrific manners. And there's this, Root has always had this attachment to the machine, because the machine has become a character in and of itself. She, if you believe Root, apparently the machine's a female, and she's kind of become a character in and of herself, and it's amazing how, she's grown as character from just, numbers randomly appear, to this living, effectively, for lack of a better term, living, breathing entity. And there's this emotional scene where...
Skynet?
Kind of, only benevolent.
Not evil. Yeah.
Basically, where Samaritan is literally Skynet. But anyway, effectively, there's this scene where they, the machine says, look, turn yourself over, or I'm going to...
I was going to say, I'd be remiss if I pointed out Skynet is not evil, Jim. Technically speaking, as it's a computer programmed by humanity, it can be neither evil or good. Its actions are interpreted as evil.
Okay, it's HAL 9000 then.
I'm not wrong. I'm just being...
No, you're not wrong. No, it's not that. I said HAL 9000, and now my mind is stuck on that Lego Dimension scene where Hal shows up in GLaDOS' room and they argue with each other. It's hilarious. But anyway.
More on that next video.
Indeed. But basically, the demands the machine turn yourself over, or I'm gonna start with Root, and I'm gonna dissect her and shit. If you don't turn yourself over to me, and then I'm gonna kill your creator Finch to boot, because I'm an evil computer program, and that's what I do. And there's this emotional scene where Root, basically Root calls out, there's this, basically Samaritan makes the demands, and it looks like Root's gonna get killed, and all of a sudden the lights in the hospital room go out. And there's like a heart monitor machine on the other side, and the machine, as they call it, shows up on the heart monitor device over here and starts able to make words on it to talk. Neither of them talks through voice; they just talk through words on the screen. And apparently the machines can see each other because they're, I guess, reading each other's words or whatever. But anyway, the machine pops up on the screen as the lights dim down at the last minute. The machine pops up and starts typing in green writing, and the machine starts saying, and Root is like screaming in this impassioned, like, no, don't turn yourself over. We're expendable. We're only human. We are expendable. You can find more operatives to work for you to stop Samaritan. You're what needs to survive. You're the only thing keeping it at bay. You have to survive. You can do this without us. And she's like screaming in this impassioned, don't do it, practically crying, don't do this. And on the screen the machine says. And the machine says, no, Sameen was taken because of me. I failed you once. I will not fail you again. And the machine effectively hands over its coordinates to Samaritan. And Root manages to, there's a blonde chick that works for Samaritan too that's been pestering them like fucking. Root manages to reach over and snap the chick's neck in rage as this is happening.
Blonde chick. Such a great character name. I like blonde chick.
She wasn't very well developed. Her role was basically evil blonde chick that works for the evil computer. That was basically the extent of her character. They didn't develop her very well.
I was just saying I liked her name, blonde chick. I like her. She's my favorite character.
Yeah, funny. Aren't you hilarious? Her name is Martine, if you really want to know. But anyway.
There we go.
Anyway. She gets her neck snapped by Root, and the machine effectively does just this emotional scene where the machine shows that it actually, that it cares about them, or she cares about them as much as the humans have, especially Root, grown to care about her. And it was a really emotional scene where she said, no, I will not fail you again. I'm not going to let what happened to Sameen happen to you, even if it means me being lost. And she turns over the coordinates, and the others manage to get away. But that was a really emotional scene, and Amy Acker acted it amazingly. Full credit to her. She's the best character on the show by far. And she did a great job acting out that emotional scene, which was wonderful. The other one I had considered was the other scene, just briefly, was in the finale, right at the end of the finale, where there's this scene where the machine has been chased down by Samaritan, and Samaritan has blocked anywhere it can go. And the machine's at the point where it gives final directives to them, and the directives are they collect some items, and they realize it's to build a giant superpowered portable hard drive in a briefcase that the machine can download itself into so that it can survive. And there's a moment where Finch hesitates about downloading the machine into this, about, given how far the machine's evolved beyond what I programmed it to do, is it really a good idea to preserve it like this, even given what it's shown us? Is it a good idea to preserve it like this? And there's a scene where right as it's about to be downloaded, it can, have words on the screen, on the small screen, and it says, to Finch, it says, Father, I'm sorry I failed. I didn't know how to win. I had to invent new rules. I thought you'd want me to stay alive. Now you're not sure. If you think I've lost my way, then maybe I should die. And Finch, who has had this issue having a fatherly relationship with an artificial intelligence because he's very a man of science and has trouble with the whole it's alive thing. Finch, almost tears kind of says, you're my creation. I can't let you die, and downloads it into the briefcase and then they shoot their way out in the last scene. But there's two back-to-back episodes, two back-to-back emotional scenes between human characters and the machine, and the fact that the show is able to get to the point where the actors can, do that much, that a machine is having that much emotional impact on the audience, just shows the quality of that show and the great acting by all the characters, Michael Emerson, Amy Acker, and all the rest. Just great jobs all around. Great emotional scenes.
I see. Is it wrong when you mentioned the "it's alive" thing? All I can think in my head is Robot Chicken. It's alive in the intro, and I don't know why.
Why not? Fair enough. But yes, great emotional scenes for Person of Interest. Keep up the great work, guys. And back over to you, Marcus.
Yay!
And we're going to go to the next award, which happens to be the biggest surprise award. And I'm going to have to step away for just a moment while you two go. So, Marcus, when you're done, Mo, you can pick right up, and I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Aw. I thought this is one I kind of wanted Jim to be here for, but my biggest surprise 2015 on TV. The reunion of Keenan and Kel for a Good Burger sketch on Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Now, I wasn't a fan of Keenan and Kel back in the day. It's kind of after my time. This was a 90s show. But I knew of them. I've seen, I saw them on Nickelodeon stuff because I did used to watch Nickelodeon and whatnot. And, based on what from Jim and stuff about how Keenan and Kel had been on the outs for years and stuff like that, all of a sudden for them to show up together on Jimmy Fallon in a Good Burger sketch, just like, what?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mind blown.
Now, I will say that I don't know if it's just this or not, but you were broken up a little bit.
Ah, sorry.
No,
Yeah.
not with the from the headset. I mean, like broken up like internet.
Ah, fair enough.
Hopefully it doesn't cut the full thing, but
I hope not. Do I sound okay now?
yeah, you sound fine now. It just keeps going in and out between the two.
That's weird. But yeah, so that's my biggest surprise 2015. I know Jim would have more to say if he were here, but he's not.
May he rest in peace.
But yes, I don't know how you felt about Keenan and Kel, Mo.
I liked Keenan and Kel the show. Didn't like Good Burger, but I liked Keenan and Kel. Because Good Burger, I didn't like Good Burger because it was just welcome to Good Burger, home with the Good Burger. No, it was funny once, but after that, the sketch, it was the same joke, and I was like, oh. But I liked Keenan and Kel together on the show Keenan and Kel. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. What did you think of the reunion thing there?
I don't get Jimmy Fallon.
Okay. You didn't watch it on like YouTubes and stuff, huh?
I don't watch stuff on YouTube illegally.
I mean, illegally it's TV, and it's not illegal because it's on his official channel.
Yeah, but I was saying I didn't watch it on there, but his official channel, most of the stuff on the official Jimmy Fallon channel is blocked in my country.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, fair enough.
It's because they don't have the rights to it in our country, so. But
okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I just thought it was kind of cool because it's like, after all these years, and they're willing to work together again.
Yeah. I'm hoping when Jim, because he turned off his webcam, I'm hoping he hasn't unplugged his Ethernet cable.
Probably not. I don't see why he would. I think he just turned off the webcam so we wouldn't be staring at, like, empty bed.
Yeah.
But anyway, over to the mall.
No, good surprise of the year. There was one obvious candidate for me. This is Hank Henshaw. As we know, I know you're thinking, oh, I know him. Cyborg Superman, right? No. Because he... If I can...
He's black. No.
There's no reason he couldn't be.
Except Hank Henshaw in the comic was white. But yeah.
And we just talked about Kingpin being awesome.
True.
But, yeah, as you can see there, there's a twist with who he is.
Yeah, ironically, I think this is... See, the next one is what? Awesome. Right? Yeah, this is like my next award, actually.
Because he's not actually Hank Henshaw's Cyborg Superman. The thing that didn't make sense is the fact he looked different to what we'd seen Pixel Superman looking like. I say Pixel Superman because his face is always blurred, but as you can see there with the red, that's because he is, boom, John Jones, as he likes to say, because he is the Manhunter. Now, I saw that coming. I'm just going to pause it there so it doesn't go to the next clip. I saw that coming, and I'd mentioned to Jim I thought it was Manhunter, but I'm putting this as a surprise because some people didn't see it coming. But it's also there for a surprise for me personally because I didn't think it'd look as good as it did when he was revealed to be Manhunter. I
Yeah.
thought it'd just be like, let's just keep him in his human form. But he's a shapeshifter, he's in his human form, which would have made sense, but I liked it like that. When he reveals himself, he's like, I am John Jones, and it's like, that's awesome. Plus, who doesn't like Manhunter? And that is a great show.
Damn right. Now, I do have to say, good luck, Snyder. You have that to contend for Justice League.
I think he can beat it.
I don't know. That's a pretty damned good Martian Manhunter.
It is, but if that's a good one there, think about how much it'd be with a bigger movie budget. Plus, even if it doesn't look quite as good, the fact you'll see him with Ben Affleck's Batman, the Superman from the films, Wonder Woman and stuff will instantly make that bigger.
True, but because this one came first, there's always going to be the comparison.
Sort of. Because it's meant to be a separate universe, you'll get people getting, you know what I mean? You'll get people giving it a free pass.
You will. Personally, I'll be doing a comparison if they bring Manhunter into the league in the next few years, but hopefully they'll do good by it.
I would, but I would also want to see whether or not they do him well in motion and whether or not they can do it consistently well, like the Supergirl one, with how well Supergirl has done it in the last couple episodes. Can it maintain it for a season?
Right.
That's a big part of that as well. Because if it's like, oh, it looks good for the one part, but then looks shit for the rest.
Right.
But I've been enjoying that Supergirl show. I don't know if Jim's back, and I was hoping he would be, but
yeah, I think he was hoping he would be too. I need to watch that Supergirl show. It looks amazing.
it is.
There you
awesome.
are.
I'm back.
Yeah,
So-
he is back.
I are back. Sorry about that.
Over to Jim.
Indeed.
Are you
So-
still plugged in, Jim?
I am still plugged in.
Alright, because when your camera was off during the break, when Marcus was speaking, he kept cutting in and out with the internet, and it seemed like the call was having more issues. On my end, when I was looking, it was like it was having more issues, and I checked my internet with the stuff, and it wasn't that.
Yeah, I'm plugged in. It shouldn't be mine, so I don't know. But anyway, biggest surprise. I gave it from Supergirl, actually, from the I can't remember if it was the last episode or the second to last of the ones that I saw, but I didn't really expect this to happen. But there was a scene where Kara's boss, Cat Grant, through a series of questions and a request to remove her glasses, reveals that she has figured out that Kara is Supergirl, and I really didn't see that coming.
That was the last episode, and that was awesome. I still say it's a shame when I heard they were going to retcon
They
it.
retcon it. That's bullshit. Yeah, I have to go back and watch to see how that happens. But yeah, I was very surprised that happened because I didn't think, I figured, okay, there's quite a few people that know already. There's James Olsen, there's her friend Wynn, there's her sister, there's Martian Manhunter, and it just seems like there's a lot of people that knew. It's hard to keep a secret identity when that many people know. And when her boss figured it out, I'm like, okay, given the emotional, and relationship you've built between these two over the last 8 episodes, she deserves to know. But the fact that she figured it out on her own and wasn't told, that's kind of awesome. And the fact that all she did was thank her and she didn't try to publicize the shit out of her, that's kind of awesome.
Yep,
So respect. That was a great surprise reveal. I like that.
that was.
When you started talking about Supergirl, I thought you were gonna take the same one as Mole.
No. But stay tuned.
Indeed.
So let's take it over to Marcus for the surprise of the year.
No, that's awesome.
No,
moment
no,
of the year.
Awesome, we did the surprise. All right, that was awesome moment of the year. Sorry.
Yeah. And speaking of later has arrived because, Martian Manhunter. That was fucking awesome. I did actually see that. It counts. I was like, holy crap, that looked fucking amazing.
Marcus, you have the Manhunter picture over yourself and in the picture-in-picture.
Da!
Yeah, he does.
Just an FYI.
Da! That should not have happened. Hang on a second. There. Manhunter. But yes, that... Fuck you. Fuck you. No. But no, just that reveal was done so well, and Manhunter looked so awesome. I was like, that is cool. I was like, that was awesome. That's why I said, as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, yeah, good luck, Snyder. You have that to contend with.
Hey, Maul.
If you decide to use Manhunter.
Yeah.
Hey, Maul.
Yes, Jim?
I'm going to have to argue the legitimacy of this award because I'm relatively certain Marcus only saw the clip of that happening online and has not actually watched the episode or the show.
I did not watch the full episode, no, but I still saw it. I say it should still count because I actually physically saw it as opposed to just heard about it.
It could go either way with that.
I'm not going to argue it on air, but let's not do that in the future. Moving on. Over to Maul for your That Was Awesome.
Okay. I had to go with... Hopefully this loads.
Load, damn you, load.
Boom! I went with the Flash.
Ooh.
Because, as you can see there, that's Jay Garrick.
Ooh.
That's right. Flash officially added the multiverse to its universe.
Nice. That's...
So now there's been talk of if Supergirl crosses over, because there's no Superman in this universe, we think, why not make her just part of the multiverse stuff? She just comes from one of the other Earths.
That works.
You could even do, like, Dean Cain could even cross over as Lois and Clark as a multiverse. Smallville could. Any of the Batman TV show could if they wanted to. Anything could, because just by doing a multiverse alone, the possibilities have suddenly opened up to being endless, and that alone is awesome. Like, there's already talks of, like, Legends of Tomorrow, which is doing it, is also gonna show universes of past, present, and future versions of... No, Jim, because that's a different thing. The past, present, and future of stuff like Arrow and Flash with different people in the suits and stuff, and that's awesome.
So, since you mentioned it earlier, and I know that I believe if I recall correctly, no, that's the wrong character. Never mind.
So does that mean they're going to bring back the original Flash, the as you call him, was it Dawson's dad or whatever?
Dawson's dad, he could come back as a Flash in a different universe. I don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know yet. I mean, why not? I mean, Mark Hamill is returning again as Trickster this season.
I heard that, yeah. Yeah, I read an article about that. The producers were saying they wanted to make that like an annual thing.
Yeah, the annual Trickster episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they want to do an annual crossover with Arrow, which is awesome.
Makes sense.
And yeah, like I said, it's just awesome the fact they added the multiverse, because...
Maybe they could do an annual crossover with the Legends of Tomorrow.
I don't think they'll need to, because I think Legends of Tomorrow in itself is a crossover.
Ah.
But yeah, like I said, I like that. And Flash has done a great job of adding a multiverse, so that was my one. That was Flash.
Nice. All right. And since Marcus brought it up, I'll won't say too much about it, but I also gave it to the reveal of the Martian Manhunter because they did the build up to that scene was really amazing. If you'd have seen, it's even better if you've seen the show because you know something is off about Hank Henshaw to begin with because from almost episode 1 when he's first introduced, when you see him look away from everybody else, his eyes glow red. So you know he's not human. There's something going on there. And given his name, you might at first think, oh, he's the cyborg Superman or something like that. But the fact is they build this up and everything, and they built him up, and they built up this whole storyline of, Kara and her sister, whose name I can never freaking remember. But the way the two of them, had found out that, oh, their father, Dean Cain with a beard, died under mysterious circumstances working for the government organization, and that Hank Henshaw later revealed that Hank Henshaw was involved in this. They get really suspicious of him and aren't sure they can trust him as their leader, and it's to the point where Kara's sister and Henshaw are in a facility lockdown when an alien breaks loose that can mind fuck people, and she almost ends up attacking him and thinking that he's in league with the evil alien guy and everything else. And it's not until the end of that episode that he finally breaks down and reveals it and gives us his whole backstory of your dad and Hank Henshaw were tracking an alien, but your dad realized the alien wasn't a threat, and he saved them. And that was me, and I told him I'd look after you and your sister, and that's why I founded the DOE and everything. And he, I am the last son of a fallen planet, the last son of Mars. My name is John Jones, and it was just badass as all hell. My favorite scene in Supergirl thus far, and just a great reveal and a great job.
Yep.
So I give it to that.
Yeah. Like I said, when I gave her the surprise, it was because, wow, I mentioned to Jim from the beginning I saw that coming. I didn't think it would look as good, so it would still count as a surprise. Plus, I know other people were surprised he was Manhunter. So either way, it's a surprise, and I was like, yeah.
Indeed. Now the other question we have to ask ourselves is the physical costume going to look as good? Because they said outright that they made a physical costume for the actor to wear when he's in Manhunter form, so they didn't have to spend money on the CGI every time. So it'll be interesting to see if that looks as good as the CGI did.
Hope so.
Maybe.
We shall see. But anyway, that's going to bring us right around to the final award of the night. And I'm 98% sure Mole and I have the same one on this. So I'm going to go I'm going to go over to Marcus to get his, and then we'll wrap it up. Go ahead, Marcus.
No, we don't.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Biggest disappointment. And if the suit does not look as good as the CG, I'm sure that'll be on your biggest disappointment for next year. But
we shall see.
My biggest disappointment. Boom. The announcement of Mythbusters' final season. Because when I saw that pop up, I was like, what? Oh.
Yeah,
I really like Mythbusters.
Does that count?
No, that would count.
Okay.
Because he does watch Mythbusters, and it was an announcement that it was going to be its final season.
Fair enough.
And they advertised the shit out of that during the Mega Marathon across Christmas that I was watching, where they showed every episode of Mythbusters.
Which, to be fair, that's like finding out that like the blind one-legged dog was suddenly taken out around the back of the shed and a bullet put in its head. It's like, it's sad, but you kind of saw it coming, because once they got with the B team and tried to be all hip with the explosion and all those effects, I stopped watching it. I was like, no, I'm done.
Yeah, if you'd asked me if we'd have done this last year with biggest disappointment, I probably would have put removal of the build team from Mythbusters.
Yeah, I didn't like what it became, but it's still sad that it's ending after how long?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess it's time though, because I guess Heineman kind of doesn't like what it's become a little bit, because he's more of the pure science. He wants to build stuff for the sake of building stuff. He doesn't like the stories. Which is funny, because their next project is a scripted show for CBS. So their next project is they're going to use science to tell a story. It's like, really, Heineman? Really?
Yeah, but that's completely different. That's like saying that's like saying you would hate it if Michael Bay made the Ninja Turtles aliens as people outraged on the internet. But I don't think anyone complained that the Transformers were made to be aliens.
True.
That is true.
But yeah, my biggest disappointment, just that announcement, because that made me sad.
Fair enough.
Nice.
And I guess maybe we don't have the same one, so let's take it over to Mullen and see what yours is.
My one is, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Power Rangers Dino Charge. That is the biggest piece of shit I have ever watched in my life.
I did not. Fair enough.
Well, yeah, of course you saw it coming, because it's a big piece of shit. That doesn't mean anything bad. But, like I said, it's a terrible show. The suits look horrible. As you can see there, the effects look bad compared to normal. And it was Power Rangers with dinosaurs. Last time they did that, we got something awesome. Instead, what we get is that. I mean, look at that. Look at how terrible that explosion looked, and how bad all those CGIs and the suit and stuff look. It's just a terrible season, and overall, that series of Power Rangers is probably the worst series we have ever had, in my opinion, at least. I'd even put this out there with Turbo and the Alien Rangers in terms of how bad it is, and I get that because it's on the air right now, the Power Ranger fans will claim it's the best series ever, like they did with the series before it. Then next year, they'll claim that the season's a piece of shit, but I'm going on personal judgment, not on the fact oh, it's a Power Ranger season on the air, we must claim to like it until the next one. So yeah, I went with that.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. All right then.
Also, why the fuck is there 2 Grey Rangers? And
There's not 2 gray.
and graphite is not a color.
That we agree on. Graphite is not a color, but they're effectively a gray and a silver. Because the other one is a Silver Ranger.
Yeah, well, apparently 2 Saban graphite is a color.
To be fair, didn't they take that from the Sentai? Because they had 2 different grays that weren't called gray and that, I believe.
No, in the
Yeah, they
Sentai they were gray and silver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were gray and silver.
Wait, like I
it wasn't
said-
graphite, so they were actual
Yeah.
colors.
Yeah, but like I said, silver isn't actually a color, it's a metal.
So it was gold. They've had Gold Rangers before.
They have, and
Silver's before.
they have, and I'm not saying it's a good thing, but the fact the silver one is just a shade of grey, it was stupid.
Mm.
And that's bad. The Power Rangers is the worst thing ever made in 2015 with multiple shades of grey. Over to Jim.
Okay. Speaking of that, did you see the stupid commercial for the freaking parody movie 50 Shades of Black? Looks like it's some kind of joke of a thing. Wishes it was a Tyler Perry movie.
No. Anyway,
Indeed. So let's go over to
you.
my biggest disappointment of the year. So, my biggest disappointment of the year. Surprisingly, between Mole and I, it hasn't come up yet on any of these awards, but it needs to come up once, and this needs to be brought up. What the fuck, Mr. Gold? What the fuck? And I don't mean, obviously nothing toward Robert Carlyle. This is mostly on the writing team of Once Upon a Time, or ABC. Big finale. Number one, Dark Emma was not really dark at all, so that's a whole separate problem that could have made this award.
Yep.
But
She's just Emma.
yeah, she's just Emma in a leather coat with a bad hair job. But that aside, what really threw me off is, okay, so you build this whole thing up, you build it the whole, Hook is actually, spoilers if you haven't seen the finale of Once Upon a Time. That Hook is actually also a dark one, because why the fuck not? And I guess that makes him Pirate Hook again. And, you go through all this build-up of, all the dark ones come back, which is kind of cool, I'll give you that.
To be fair, that was stupid in itself, of he suddenly acted like Pirate Hook, which doesn't work because they're supposed to be a version of themselves at the time they became the Dark One. And therefore, because he was already over being Pirate Hook, suddenly making him reverse is kind of stupid.
Mm-hmm. But they built up this whole thing of the love between them and Hook, and, how Hook is, is summoning all the Dark Ones so that they can, to summon all the Dark Ones from the underworld so they can take over the world, and they're going to send all the good guys' souls back to Hades in exchange or whatever. And there's a big ending moment where they get the Excalibur sword from, and mind you, Rumpelstiltskin's character has been, built up as being a hero this season. He had no powers. He was revived, having a completely clean heart with the darkness removed, and with help from Merida, granted in Emma's assistance, but with help from Merida, he was turned into a hero. He effectively learned how to fight. He bested Hook in a fight on his ship. Rumple effectively became a hero. He did the right thing by telling Belle she should go off and see the world and get away from all this insanity because he didn't deserve her. They finally redeemed his character and made him awesome without the dark powers. And they went through all this whole thing. And then we get to the end where, Hook gives them Excalibur and Dark Hook summons all the darkness of the other Dark Ones within him. And then Emma runs him through with Excalibur to kill him and destroy the darkness. And this big emotional Hook dies, the darkness is gone forever, the sword disintegrates. And then what happens? Emma senses something from the shop and goes into Rumpel's shop, Mr. Gold's shop, and sure enough, he's got a new dagger because, no, he enchanted that sword and all the darkness of all the Dark Ones is now inside him because status fucking quo.
Yep, which was a little bullshit, and it was annoying. However, I will say, in hindsight, one of the reasons I didn't give him the award is it makes perfect fucking sense.
Why?
Look at the series. Whenever Mr. Gold had a choice between anything in his life, he even mentioned the reason he basically got out the army. It's not because of he was worried for his son. It's because he's a coward, and that's who he'll always be. And throughout the season, he was a hero, but look at how he reacted. He smugly smirked and got in the Dark One's face with, yeah, well, this is who I am now, deal with it type way. He was not a good guy. In hindsight, he was a smug, arrogant douche, and therefore him becoming the Dark One again was like, yeah, that makes perfect fucking sense. Because when you look at how he acted as a hero, it was like, it's sort of like we were like Bell, where we wanted to see the good in him and we wanted him to be good. But when he was good, if you actually see how he acted as good, he wasn't good. He was literally acting like a cocky son of a bitch that was deliberately trying to get in the Dark One's face.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of it that way. That's a valid point.
Yeah, because he wasn't like, oh, I must save the day for everyone. He's like, you hurt Bell. How dare you? I'm the Dark One. Yeah, you don't want to mess with me, Dark One, because I'm, you know who I am. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. This is true. I mean, I understand. I feel like that wasn't intended that way. I feel like they wrote it in because status quo, but it happened to work with the development. But yeah, it seemed because for me it came the hell out of nowhere.
Oh, for me at the time it came out of nowhere because, like I said, they finally did it. They finally made him interesting without powers. They found a way to make him Mr. Gold and Rumpelstiltskin without the powers. And I thought it was bullshit. It was just like I said, in hindsight, it was more like, oh, you know what? When you actually look at some of the stuff, it's like that actually makes sense in hindsight.
Kind of, yeah. All right. Well, it's still a disappointment because I felt like they could have done another interesting development with either. I mean, I understand they want to keep the darkness around because it's pretty obvious that however long this show keeps going, whatever the final season is, the final thing they're going to do is destroy the darkness. They got to keep the darkness around because there's nothing more evil than the darkness. So there's any of the threats they bring back are going to be, we get the darkness. Nothing else is really a threat to us anymore.
Yeah, and
so they gotta have to have the darkness because Merlin made that prophecy, or not Merlin, whatever. Merlin made that prophecy where he said, the only one who could destroy the darkness now is Nimue. So I still think that's going to come around and come to pass where, the original Dark One, Nimue within the darkness, the only way to destroy it is for her to realize that the darkness wasn't the way and that her love for Merlin is true and, once upon a time young.
Which, as I mentioned during our review, I also didn't like what they did with Merlin.
Yeah. Well.
We might not have reviewed it yet. Did we? Was that next week? Was that near the end of the year?
No, we did not review it yet. That'll be the week of the 25th to the 30th.
That was just what night. Like I said, I didn't like what they did with Merlin, but I will on that say, just because I know Simon may watch this, the second half of this year, they got Fish from Ally McBeal as Hades. Greg German, or whatever he's called, and it's like, oh my god, yes, as Hades, yes! the guy that the second I mentioned it to Simon, all you could hear is him screaming, yes, in a high-pitched voice, because that is fucking perfect casting.
Okay.
I really hope they don't fuck that up. So far they fucked up Merlin, they fucked up King Arthur, they fucked up Robin Hood, they fucked up loads of key characters on this show, so I'm really hoping they don't fuck up that Hades.
Yeah. Have you noticed the interesting commonality in all the names you just mentioned? Apparently they do good jobs with everything unless it's British.
Yeah, that's not entirely true. Because, example, like you mentioned, Mr. Gold, they keep swapping between him and that one, and I know a lot of people out there who don't like the fact Beast wasn't actually Beast, he's Rumpelstiltskin, and they've done some stuff, it's just been like, really?
True. I'll give you that.
Although they have messed up with a lot of the English characters, like Peter Pan / Pied Piper.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, that was horrible.
Yeah, the one thing I'm hoping will happen as we go forward, because they did go to the underworld at the end to go find Hook, and it's already been shown in the previews, they're gonna run into a bunch of old dead villains. I'm hoping it's not just villains, because I'm kind of hoping that maybe, with that whole I reclaim the darkness thing, I'm just kind of hoping they run into Neil, and I'm hoping Neil just punches his dad in the face. That's the rule. But he's not alive. He's just in the underworld. He's not alive. They don't break the rule.
Yeah, but the underworld's more the hell.
Underworld is a purgatory state. It's not hell. The producer said that.
They can say that all they want, but if they're using Hades, then it's a slap in the face of either Greek culture, which is offensive as fuck, and Disney need to be slapped, and this show should be avoided completely, or it's hell.
Fair enough, but over in Greek myth, Hades was never intended to be hell. Hades was just the god over the underworld. It was never intended to be bad. It's just where everybody went when they died. It wasn't good or bad. It was just there.
Yeah, but
it's us in modern times who have turned it into an amalgamation for hell.
No, also some of their plots and a lot of their stuff, they do always interpret him as the bad god.
It was more us, but fair enough. At any rate, we'll see how it goes. It should be interesting. You never know. And yeah, if this guy's as good as you say, I'm interested in seeing him as Hades. It should be good.
He is. He was great in Ally McBeal, where he played someone exactly like the Disney's version of Hades.
Oh, so he will be like, okay, good. In that case, it should be good. That was my concern.
Yeah, when I tell you, I was like, okay, they're probably gonna go with the Disney cast. And that's then when I saw stupid Hercules and Megra and stuff. I'm like, okay. When I saw him cast as Hades, I'm like, okay, fuck it, you've sold me on it.
Should be good. Might as well. It's like the last Disney movie they haven't touched at this point that fits in with any kind of world like this, unless they're suddenly gonna pull in the Hunchback or some shit.
They should pull in the Hunchback.
They're making a musical of the Hunchback for Broadway.
Well, hell, it's about time all the villains were counting scars.
Ha! Ha ha ha! I don't know how you would work Lion King into that. That would be weird.
Same way they did with the other thing. You just make it where, in this continuity, the Lion King is basically, in our world, is basically humans who look similar to the Broadway play, but in their world they were animals like the mice were with Cinderella.
That's true. Yeah, that would work. Also, part of me, I have not seen the Wonderland little spin-off, but I would love for Jafar to somehow be alive so we can work Aladdin into this shit, but that's not going to happen, I don't think.
No, because wasn't Jafar the hero of Agrabah? I believe they did a twist where the Sultan was evil and Jafar was actually slightly good.
That doesn't surprise me. I didn't see Wonderland. I have no idea.
Because they wanted it to be similar to the Mr. Gold character for Jafar, but...
Not the first time somebody's interpreted it that way, but fair enough. So, yeah, there we go. Those are our 2015 Year in Review Awards for TV. We hope you enjoyed those awards. And make sure you stay tuned to our next episode, our awards episode, which is going to be on Friday the 22nd at 11 p.m. and that's going to be our video game awards. And then a little later on Saturday the 30th at 7 p.m. These are Eastern times, by the way. We're going to wrap it up with our assorted awards for other things. So stay tuned for those. Good times.
Yep.
Thank you, two, for joining me, as always.
Pleasure.
I am James Phoenix, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Good night.